Hello, Bethel family. Wanted to send you this video because we are in unusual times, as you know, with the coronavirus and the quarantining that's taking place. Some of it's just strongly suggested, others are mandated as businesses are closing and churches are not holding gatherings where people are actually physically present, and schools are closing down. All kinds of crazy things are happening. And since we're not going to be able to meet in person as well, I wanted to address you and give you some words of encouragement from our faith, as well as what we're going to be doing as a church in order to get around these obstacles. So regarding your faith, first, I wanted to share with you some thoughts from Luke chapter 5, beginning at verse 17. There's a story there that you're probably familiar with, and that's the story of a paralyzed man who wanted to be healed, and he had some good friends that decided they're going to find a way to get this guy healed. And they heard of this Jesus who was healing people, so they took their friend to Jesus so that he could get healed. But when they got to Jesus, there were large crowds around him, and they couldn't get to Jesus. Not only were there crowds, but Jesus was inside of a building, some kind of a physical structure, and they couldn't get inside the building. So they could have decided to walk away and say, we tried, but we couldn't get to Jesus. There's obstacles that were in our way, and so we just couldn't get what our friend needed. But they decided that they weren't going to let the obstacles get in their way of getting what their friend needed and getting to Jesus. So they found a way to climb the walls of the building and get on top of the building on the roof. But once they were there, there's still an obstacle. How do they get through the roof to Jesus? And again, they weren't going to let these obstacles stop them, so they decided to dig a hole in the ceiling. And the Bible says in the English Standard Version that they were peeling the tiles away to create this opening in the ceiling. And once they did that, there was still an obstacle. They couldn't just toss the guy probably 6, 8, 10 feet, maybe even more, down to the floor. And so how were they going to get this friend of theirs in front of Jesus? So they got some ropes, they got something together to attach to his mat, and they created a pulley system, and they lowered him down in front of Jesus. And there was some interaction, some teaching that happened, an interaction with Pharisees, and ultimately Jesus healed the man, and the crowds were astonished by what God had done. So he got what he wanted, the friends were able to help, and the people around were moved upon by God, and a lot of great things happened, even though there were plenty of obstacles to prevent that from happening. So what do we take away from that? We're walking through this season of the coronavirus, and no matter what position or view you're taking on the reaction to it, the reality is that there is a virus that poses a threat to us, and there is quarantining that is taking place. There is social implications, there's economic implications, and that evokes all kinds of fears and concerns and things that we need to do, and it affects us. So whether you're afraid of the virus yourself and you're afraid you're going to get it and you're concerned about that, or maybe you're afraid for a loved one, you have a loved one that's not in a good health condition, and you're afraid that if they get this, something bad could happen to them. Maybe you're just concerned about the economic impact or the social impact. Maybe it's just driving you nuts to be in your house by yourself, quarantining yourself from other people. Maybe you're concerned about businesses. You're having economic issues. You got laid off. Maybe you're concerned about the church. What's the church going to do if we can't meet in gatherings because the government's strongly recommending we don't meet in gatherings of 10 or more? And you have all these concerns and all these fears, and there's a lot of obstacles that are in our way. Well, I want to encourage you with that story of the paralyzed man and his friends and how they went over the obstacles and got what they needed, and they touched Jesus and experienced him. So we have a lot of obstacles. We have obstacles to meeting as a church. We have obstacles to economic things and economic issues, relationships. We have obstacles. And we can either just sit with our hands under our lap, and we can just throw our hands up in the air and say, what can we do? We can't do anything about it. Or we can decide, let's be an optimist with this, and let's say, hey, there's obstacles. Here's an opportunity for God to do a great thing. So what is it that God could be doing? So if you're stuck at home alone, maybe this is a time that you can build up your relationship with your family. Maybe it's a time that you can develop your intimacy with the Lord and your faith. Maybe it's a time that you can think through some kind of ingenuity idea to help you and others out economically. I don't know if I've heard a rumor that a large number of companies, successful companies, have gotten their start during times of crisis because someone was creative and figured out how to get out of those economic struggles. And so get creative. Think about what God could do with these obstacles. It just creates a great opportunity. And don't let fear overtake you. Just remember that we just got to push through these obstacles. Climb the wall of the building, dig a hole in the roof, and lower ourselves down before Jesus. And we're going to meet Jesus. We're going to have our needs met, and we're going to see God move in a way that cause awe and wonder in the hearts of people. So I pray that you would let your faith be built by the story in Luke chapter 5. And for us as a church, what are we going to do to overcome these obstacles? We're going to do a few things. If you're watching this video, then you probably see that we have a YouTube channel, Bethel Assembly of God Pittsburgh, and there's some videos on there. Some of the videos are going to be videos for how to parent, how to pastor your children. There's a video on there from Rachel Toten for a children's devotional, midweek children's devotional. We're hoping to have a recorded children's church service video sometime this weekend for you. Then also the Wednesday night Bible study, we have a software called Zoom that we're going to do video conferencing. And if you would like to be a part of that, just let me know. We will record it and post it on this YouTube channel so you can watch it if you can't join us during the actual time of the Bible study and the prayer time. But if you'd like to join us live, you will need an invitation with a password to be a part of that. So just text me or Facebook message me or email me at dlevesque, that's D-L-E-V as in Victor, E-C-K, at bethelpgh.org, and let me know you'd like to be a part of that live, and I'll be glad to work on setting you up. As to Sunday morning, we're going to be live streaming through YouTube. We will post a link to it on Facebook. It will appear on this channel, and if you're not seeing the channel for some reason, just search in YouTube Bethel Assembly of God Pittsburgh, and you should see our channel pop up. Click on that, and by at least 9:30 on Sunday morning, hopefully earlier than that, you should see a video there that on the bottom right-hand corner it says live. That's letting you know that the video is live feeding. You can click on that, and you'll be ready once the service starts. You'll be able to watch, listen to the service. You could interact with the service. You can comment on the YouTube page. You can comment on the posting on Facebook. You can like it. You can share it. And this way we're staying connected with each other. We're still having church. We're just doing it through a screen. So we're not going to let obstacles get in our way. We're going to push through those obstacles. We're going to get through that roof and get to Jesus and see great things happen. So I hope that you will stay on board with us as we work through quarantining season. And we're believing that Jesus is going to do great things, and we're going to be strong during it, and we're going to be stronger after it. So God bless you. I love you, and I look forward to you joining us virtually. And I can't wait till we can get together again in person. Love you.